Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Wednesday. So by now we're starting to get used to the way things have to be, at least for now. It remains important that we stay at home, we stay healthy, and we stay strong. Now I mean that mentally as well as physically. We're in the fourth week of lockdown now, so whether we like it or not, we've started to build habits, either good or bad. We're in new routines, and we're starting to get used to the way things are. So now is a good time to sort of assess what those habits that we've created for ourselves are, to reassess them and to adjust them to ensure that they are in line with our goals for the next few weeks. Now, over the last few weeks, we've spoken a lot about revolving your day around good habits. So today, what Dudes and I want to talk about is a little bit about how to manage your physical activity or your training during this particular time. So what we thought we'd do today is give you a quick recap on some of our thinking around training and exercise, and also highlight some of the principles around training that are going to hold you in good stead over the next phase of lockdown. I think if this current situation has highlighted anything, it's the importance of investing in your own health and fitness, not just now, but really investing in your health for the long term, so that we've got the best chance of fighting diseases such as COVID, and giving ourselves the best possible chance of a good quality life for as long as possible. So if you're a gym goer, or you're a fitness fanatic, or you participate in sport, exercise or training, I don't really need to tell you that. You know that that's important. The key thing for you guys right now is, how do you continue keeping yourself fit, active and healthy now that we can't get to the gym, and now that we're confined to our own homes, and now that we're sort of forced to be a lot more sedentary than we normally are. So for that, I'm going to hand you over to Dudes, and he's going to give you some advice on how you can stay fit and healthy without losing the gains that you've worked hard for over the previous years. So if on the other hand, you're new to training, then actually now is a really good time to start setting that habit of training and exercise as part of your daily routine. So that doesn't mean going from doing nothing to trying to run a marathon every day, although I can see the appeal of getting outside and out into nature and away from the same four walls. I can see the appeal of that. But for you guys, what it means is just incorporating a little bit of daily movement into your routine every single day. The goal there is to start with small steps and aim for better, but not perfect every day. So my experience as a coach over the last few weeks has actually been pretty cool and quite interesting. I've been quite heartened actually to see, so I've been reached out to by a number of people who have come to me and asked for advice. They're not usual gym goers, they're not fitness fanatics, they've never really exercised before in their life, and they're asking me now, how do I get going on a fitness journey? Now, some of that is concern for their own general health, but also just using it as an opportunity to get out of the boredom of just being confined to four walls. So now is a great opportunity to start thinking about your long-term fitness and your long-term health through training, through exercise. For me, it's been a real privilege to be able to help people start their fitness journey. And so I thought what I'd do today is share some of those things that I've shared with them with you guys. Then I'm going to hand over to Dudes, who's going to give those of you who are used to training a little bit more advice on how you can adapt your current method of training and style of training to suit the environment and the kit that you have at home. So as it happens, it doesn't really matter whether you're new to training or whether you're a seasoned athlete. I think both Dudes and I would echo the sentiments of Greg Glassman here, who says that everybody needs a certain level of functional competence. Now, that level differs by degree, but not kind. So what that means is, when we train, primarily what we do is focus on movement patterns and activities that support our day-to-day life. So for us, that means functional movement patterns, so squatting, hinging, pushing, pulling, carrying stuff, and also activities like crawling, rolling, jumping and hanging. We focus on doing these things well, and we focus on doing them often. Now, if you're new to training, I'd suggest getting started by incorporating just a little bit of movement into your daily routine. So as little as 15 minutes every day, by mixing a variety of those movement patterns that we've just spoken about. You don't need to be pushing the weights, or you don't need to be going to failure. Just ingraining those movement patterns into your neural pathways, setting the habit of creating a small amount of time each day just to set aside, just to move, and to move well. By observing this principle of consistency, it's going to be much better for you than trying to beast yourself in one workout and then being unable to train for the rest of the week because you're too sore. So that's why I would suggest starting off small, just incorporating just a little bit of movement every single day, because we can all find 15 minutes in the day, right, where we can do this. So once you've set the habit and you've become used to a variety of movements, we can start to talk about other principles of training. Things like creating the system or the program that you're going to incorporate, rather than just using randomly selected exercises each time. And then we can talk about other principles of training, such as progression, by adding weight or adding reps or reducing the amount of rest time. And then using variation with the movement patterns so that you can tailor things to the results that you want, whether that be gaining strength or muscle mass or reducing body fat. So regardless of your age or your current level of fitness, the system of training remains the same. It's just the way that those movements are used to create the program that depends on the goal itself. So I'm going to hand over to Dudes now, who's going to explain a little bit more about how you might edit and adapt your current style of training and your program to keep yourself fit, healthy at home now, without losing any of those gains that you've worked so hard for in the past. Over to you, Dudes.